Hello friends, welcome to Julia in the Garden. This is another garden tour I'm doing for you today. But first I just want to say if you're new here, welcome. I'm Julia. I live in Vermont in zone 5. And here I have a large potager, which is my kitchen garden. That's what I'm giving a tour of today. I also have a small orchard that I've started and a berry garden, which I haven't shown you all yet, but hopefully I will next week or so. I'm also a homeschool mom to 3 kids that are with me today. And I have, here you go, say hi. 1, 2, and the third one's on my back. Yep. Okay. I have another channel that's on homeschooling and motherhood and planning. And so if you're interested in that, I will have that linked below as well. But my friends, it has been a whole month pretty much since I gave you my last tour and so much has changed. I am sorry I haven't picked up the camera earlier, finishing up the school year, a new toddler who's climbing on everything, and just trying to get everything in the garden. I've been busy. You will notice in this tour, I have not weeded a bunch of places. I have tools and things out all over the garden. So please forgive me. This is not like a nice, clean garden tour, but I just wanted to record where we are in the process and share with you. So here we go. Starting at the front again, I'm actually going to back us up here. I have plans still for this front area and I started. So you can see down at the edge there, I've started planting some flowers, and if we go this way, I've got a few there and a few more down at that end, but this kind of got pushed off until lower priority because it's not food. And so I do have some flowers that probably aren't going to make it in their containers, but it's okay. I will try to direct sow and do my best. Right inside the gate on this side, still no gates by the way, we have cabbage and cauliflower that's really overgrown with grass, and it is towards the top of my list of things that need to be weeded once I finish planting everything. But this is, they're still growing, so that's good. I did have some cabbage worm damage and I have been picking them off by hand. This is a sad little sunflower. It's been really hot and dry here, which is unusual for us, so I've been struggling to water everything as I have to hand water. But I'm trying, doing my best. Okay, well this looks somewhat nice because my husband just helped me mulch, but the zinnias are in on either side here. And yeah, we put some mulch down. There's some lettuce that looks wonderful that we've been picking slowly. I let the arugula bolt and go to flower because it just got too hot for it. And honestly, the flowers are beautiful and the pollinators really like them. And I'm hoping to maybe try to save some seed. That's something I'm interested in doing more of this year. And then my broccoli is actually looking great. Last year I did not succeed with my broccoli, but this year, look, little broccoli. I'm very excited about that. So hopefully those grow and I'll get some good broccoli harvest. I did put some melons in here. These are all watermelons. So hang on a sec. I'll go to the other side so we can get the names. Okay, so here we have a blacktail mountain, which is supposed to be good for short seasons. Sweet Siberian, all these are supposed to be better for like shorter seasons. Obviously we're in Vermont, so yeah, it's cold for a lot of the year. This is a Sweet Siberian, which is supposed to be like an orange one that I got from Hudson Valley Seed Company. And oh, I'm so excited to see how that grows. And then I have 2 sugar babies here. They're supposed to be smaller, so I'm hoping they won't need as much space, so I put 2 there. I probably spaced everything too close together. We're just going to see how it goes. And you can see the beds beyond I haven't planted yet. These are going to be bush beans, and hopefully over the next couple days those will be planted up. While I'm moving along, those are eggplants. So I've got 2 different kinds of eggplants here. This is Listata digandia. Yep, they have purple flowers. Aren't they beautiful? And that's a ping tongue eggplant. I did plant some marigold seeds in the front. They haven't come up yet. Again, it's been pretty dry. I might have to re-sow some of the seeds. There's not really a great order to do things, so I'm going to go back this way and then I'll turn around for you. I've planted some ground cherries that I started from seeds inside here. So the one on the left is doing really well, and these 2 are catching up a little bit, but they seem to all be alive. Hold on, Munchkin. I planted some chamomile seeds in there, haven't come up yet. I did have some basil that kind of crisped, so I think I will replant those as well. But you can kind of see my peas growing there along the fence. They got started later than my other peas, which I'll show you in a little bit. And the grass is shading them a bit, so I really do need to take down that grass. And I stuck a nasturtium over here just because I like nasturtium. You'll see them in many places. Let me turn around now. looking back towards, you see where the lettuce and the broccoli and arugula is back there. In front of that is what's going to be a Three Sisters bed. So 2 of the Three Sisters have been planted at this point, and we've got corn coming up. I actually re-sowed a couple yesterday. I planted them, maybe a week or 2 ago now, and they've popped up probably more like 2 weeks. I did 5 per each little, I guess they're not really hills, but theoretical hills, little circles. 6 circles of 5 each, so that they're clumped together and they'll get good pollination. Yeah. I did decide to only do one type of corn this year, and so I went with the glass gem corn, and I'm really excited about that because we can buy, sweet corn around here, but it's harder to find the glass gem corn, so I thought that'd be a fun novelty. And then I have 2 different kinds of pie pumpkins that are surrounding them. So we've got winter luxury pie pumpkins and New England pie pumpkins around here. And then let me move this way here. Next to that, I feel like I just weeded this, but the grass comes back so fast. This is my cucumber bed. So it's, I got 2 little stick trellises there, and this one on this side keeps moving on me, so that's not awesome. I had to bury that in a little bit better, but I planted, there's 2 different kinds of cucumber. So each little trellis has its own type of cucumber. So this one closer to us is dragon's egg, and the other one over here is Boston pickling. And so I'm hopeful. They got planted, I think, a week ago, so they're still kind of settling in. I've noticed it takes my plants a week or 2 to settle in, and then they just kind of take off. It would help to have some rain, to be honest, and some water. So I'll be out here watering stuff more. I did plant dill and borage around the edges and in the middle to companion plant with them. So hopefully some of those seeds come up. If not, I will also re-sow those. Over here under that netting is our strawberries. Before we get there though, I did plant a couple borage plants over here. One of them didn't survive. It was looking really good. I don't really know what happened. I did water them both. But that one there is still looking good, so I'll try to water them again today. And I can always plant some more seeds. But excitingly, our strawberries are looking beautiful. We have been harvesting lots and lots of strawberries, right? Yeah. And they're just finding some more now. They're getting through the netting. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna put the rock back on that, right? Okay. Yeah. All right, we're gonna get more after we're done filming, okay? But this is the setup we have. There's a raised bed there. There's actually 2 different types of strawberries. So the right ones we're picking were ones that were planted last year, and those are Mara de Bois. And then on the left are the Jewel strawberries that were planted this year. And we actually are getting some strawberries from them this year, which was surprising to me. So that's fantastic. And we just put some stakes up and some bird netting that we have held down by rocks, because we do have a lot of birds in the garden, and I just felt like if we didn't net it, then we weren't going to get any strawberries. But I did leave some strawberry plants here over by the elder, which is just finishing up flowering for this year. And I think the kids actually picked some of these too. I don't think the birds have found them yet, but I left these open obviously, so the birds will be able to get to some of those. And the elder is looking pretty good here. It's growing great, and I'm hopeful that we'll get some berries. Yeah. Oh, there's some more umbels down here. So there's comfrey here that already flowered. I don't know if it flowers again throughout the year. This is my first time planting comfrey. So, and I do know it spreads, and I'm just fine with this area back here kind of being like naturalized with strawberries and comfrey. And I might stick some wild violets back here next year and some other things. So I'm perfectly happy for that to happen. And a little elder guild back here. I have an intention of planting some more. Well, my original thought was to plant some perennial and biennial herbs back here, like medicinal herbs. But I haven't done it yet this year. I think I'm still debating if this is the best space for them, because it's not a lot of space, and a lot of them like to be able to spread out and naturalize. And so I might do that more up by the orchard. So I have some extra pie pumpkins that are in those cups that I might put back here. I'm still thinking about it, and there's other priorities because I did get those pie pumpkins in the other spot. Let me turn here and show you what's happening here. We've got a bed of of potatoes, which are looking fantastic. I still need to put straw down on some of them, and I have those straw bales back there to do it. And then garlic here, which we just got scapes. We're leaving that. We're leaving a couple scapes here, like that one. I don't know if you can see it there. I'll put some better pictures than I took earlier, some of the scapes. I try to leave at least one of each hardneck variety, just because this is my first time actually growing garlic, and I'm just curious to see what happens, what the flowers look like, and how it affects it. From what I've heard, it's best to cut off the scapes when they come up, because then it sends the energy back down into the bulb, and also we can eat the scapes. So I just had a delicious breakfast of scrambled eggs with garlic, scapes, and kale from the garden, so that was really, really exciting. So you can see I've got my 3 hardneck varieties, and then the smaller ones over there are a soft neck variety. So they don't give us any scapes, but hopefully it'll still be delicious garlic. Yes? Yeah. All right. What, sweetie? Are those are potatoes. Do we need to hill up around them?
No potatoes.
Okay, good. If you see any, that means we need to put more straw on top, okay?
Don't see any.
Okay. These are Adirondack red ones. These are the ones that are kind of like pink inside. Okay, while I'm over here, I'm turning around again. I'm just going to show you this trellis system here. Okay, we had to take a quick break, but we're back. So let me tell you about this trellis. I had a really nice viewer give me a suggestion of putting in cedar posts and putting cross beams across the top, and then more fencing, and I really love that idea. I think it would look great. I don't really have the resources or time for it right now, so I'm thinking I might try to do that this fall so it's ready for next season. But for right now, we just cut the top off so I could walk through, and I had to weed. There was quite a lot of weeding. It took quite a lot of time. But now I've got it all planted, and we put some straw here for mulch. So along the sides here, we've got some Baby Boo white pumpkins. And on the other side, across from that, some Jack B. little pumpkins. I had started a couple inside from seed, but only one of each kind of survived. I put what I had in the ground, but then I also put seeds with them and in some other holes. So hopefully those will pop up soon. And then if we keep going down, I haven't labeled it because they're all the same, and that is cucamelons. And again, I did start them early, but I think I started them way too early inside, and then I didn't get them in the ground soon enough. So I did stick some in here, but mostly they were kind of already dried up before they went in. I did put seeds in, so hopefully some cucamelons will pop up there too. And then on the ends here, I put some ground cherries. I had a couple ground cherry seedlings left, so I stuck them on either side here, and hoping that we can get a good crop. We actually were able to try ground cherries last year from our co-op, and we really liked them. So I'm really excited about trying them, growing them ourselves this year. Let's see. Okay, we're gonna move to this middle section around the quince tree. So obviously this bed, so all of the beds have been like this. I don't know if you could see it as much last time. The grass wasn't as tall, but yeah. So I've been having to do some thorough weeding before I plant each time, so it's making it take a lot longer. I am trying to put some more mulch down as I go, and I got some more areas that need more mulch. And hopefully, as I continue to kill the grass each year, it'll get better. And also as plants grow, it'll get better. But I do have nasturtium and kale on either side of this bed here, as in all the beds here. So each corner has kale. For some reason, some is growing better than others. Again, we did have some, I think it's cabbage worm pressure, but not too bad on these ones. And I did clear it off, and I'm keeping an eye on them. I've actually harvested from this one this morning. So yeah. Some of them are just looking absolutely gorgeous. And this bed here is going to be all edible flowers. And so we have the nasturtiums, and actually there's like a random nasturtium seed that went awry and went back there, and I'm just leaving it because, nasturtiums are not bad. I planted some wild bergamot here. It's looking a little sad, but I'm hoping it jumps back. I wasn't expecting to get flowers from it this year. It's perennial, so it should come back next year. I'm trying to give it plenty of space. This is one of the first beds I worked on, and so I had it cleared when I planted, and then the weeds are back. So it's up towards the top of my list of things to be weeded once I get everything planted. And then I put some borage in here. One's doing better than the other, but that borage is looking fantastic. I did plant some bachelor button seeds, and I don't know, I think like one might be coming up, but there's just a lot of weeds in here, so I'm gonna have to go through. We have some calendula. as well. And then I did plant some more chamomile seeds back there, but I don't know where. I haven't seen the chamomile yet. And I did plant some pansies, violets alongside here. You can see one that looks gorgeous right there. I will get a zoomed in shot of that for you. But most of them did not do well, and I'm still hopeful that maybe next year we'll see some of them come back. That kind of happened this past year. We had some we put in that didn't do well last year and then popped back up this year. It's just getting too hot for them now. And moving around here to these two beds in the front of the quince tree, and they are both planted the same way. So we've got the kale and the nasturtiums again along the edges, and then along the long edges there, you can see those circles, I put bean seeds in. So this bed was planted yesterday and the other one today, and then in the middle we've got pumpkins. So these are these ones are the flat white borer. I did not label them because I figure I know they're pumpkins and I'll figure out what they are later if I don't remember. So yeah, so the idea is hopefully this will fill up this whole middle space. I'm sure it will. And then the beans will go along the edge and it should give a really nice effect. And I did the same thing with this bed. It just mirrors the other one. The difference being, well, there's different varieties of nasturtium and kale, but also it's the rouge pumpkins instead of flat white pumpkins. And this bed here has, it's a green bean, but I'm forgetting the name of it right now. I can put it below. The other one has dragon tongues beans. So I did the two beans that we really liked last year in these beds, and then in the bed that I still need to weed and plant, I'm gonna put some zucchini instead of pumpkins, and I'm going to try a red swan bean. So I'm excited about that. It looks like, yeah, that Iceland poppy might actually flower, which is surprising. I think we're gonna start some more inside this later this summer because they're biennial. So, or they'll act biennial. They'll do well over the winter here. So. Yeah, the quince tree is also looking great. A little messy, needs to be cleaned up. Still needs to have.
And it has little shoots coming in.
Yes, that needs to be cleaned up, and still needs to have its branches trained. I've been so bad at getting to everything, but there's a lot to get to. Still finishing up the homeschool year. Those of you that are parents will know there's just busyness, and especially if you're not usually home with your kids, and you are right now, it can be really difficult to get things done. All right, so we have now moved into the kids' garden space. One thing I want to point out first is over here, I did plant some cosmos, and I believe these are the apricot lemonade ones from Baker Creek, and they're growing beautifully, and so I'm really excited to see those when they flower. I think they're going to be gorgeous. Along the rest of this edge here until the cabbage and from the zinnias back are the kids' gardens, and I don't see my son out here anymore. So my daughter here is going to give a tour of both of their gardens.
So I think these are cherry peppers, and that one, all the leaves fell out.
Yeah, so we've got two kinds of peppers here. They were out for a really long time, and one of them, all the leaves fell off of one, so we planted them anyway, and I'm kind of hoping it will regrow some leaves, but I don't know. And then this one still does have leaves, so and little peppers growing. So we just got these in. Yesterday or the day before, right? Yesterday. So hopefully they'll settle in and do a little bit better. I know mine have been doing a little bit better. Hopefully, I watered mine yesterday. We'll get to those in a minute.
And these ones are long.
Yeah, they're long. Those are korbachi.
A little bit of color.
Okay, let's keep going though. So then he has
Melons, I think?
Yeah, so the one on this side is a blacktail mountain watermelon, and on that side we've got a Noir de Carme melon, which is an orange inside melon. And those are his black pansies from last year. They came back gorgeous. And then we have more flowers over here, right? Do you remember what kind of flowers? Yeah, we've got like a black nasturtium or really dark red nasturtium, I think. And then black Prince snapdragons. And then there's the nasturtiums in the front are alternated, I believe, with more black pansies. And then we're going to put some black bachelor buttons in the back, but we haven't gotten to that yet. So something to do this week. All right, do you want to start? Now we're on her garden. So
I think this one is the black renaissance, and this one's the dark red.
Right, those are tomatoes, right?
And then we've got the one lone violet right there.
Yep, there's one lone violet in the middle. And you got those snapdragons in yesterday too, right? They're a little crispy. We'll see what happens.
And then I've got all these beautiful flowers.
Yeah, from last year, right? Do you remember what these are called? These are Sweet William, and we didn't realize when we planted them last year that they're biennial. And so we didn't get any flowers last year, but this year they're beautiful. All right. And what are those circles?
These are where I planted lima beans.
Right, lima beans. Yep. So hopefully those will come up so you can have some lima beans to eat, right?
Yeah.
And then you planted some flowers too. Do you want to tell them about your flowers?
Snapdragons, which are looking very, very pretty.
Yes, snapdragons coming up, looking great.
I don't know what these are.
I think those are Godatia. I don't know if I'm saying that right, or Godatia. Tia. Okay. Are those more snapdragons? Those are asters, maybe?
And then these are zinnias up here in the back. This one's okay.
Yeah.
I think these two are going to be okay.
Yeah, we can always plant more seeds too.
And then there are these beautiful...
Oh, yeah, she does have these beautiful... Here, put your hand under again so they can see. Here, do the other one.
They're just so beautiful.
They are so beautiful. I think these are the Antique Gem Pink from Floret.
I think they're like pink, purple, and white.
Yeah, they're beautiful. All right, should we keep going? Giving the tour? Yeah. All right, so we've got over here. These were in for my last tour. Oh, yeah. You want to show them? These are my tiger's eye.
And then
yeah, those are so cool, huh?
And these type.
Yeah, those are so cool. So cool. We're excited about those. And then beyond those, we've got kale and cabbages that I showed you guys last time.
Cabbages are being attacked by cabbage whites.
Yeah, the cabbage worms have eaten some of them, but we've been trying to pick them off. They're looking better now. I've got my very weedy onion bed. I promise, I actually weeded it after I showed it to you last time, and then this happened again. But you can tell the onions are growing, so that makes me happy. Yep. Even she can tell where the onions are now. Before, the kids couldn't tell the difference between the onions and grass, so improvement.
Well, the onions are the tall chive-like things, right?
Yes, they are related to chives. I put some zinnias over in the corner here. And then the peppers. So there's 3 different kinds of peppers. Oh, they look much better today than they did yesterday. They needed some water. So we've got lilac bell peppers here.
And tiny marigolds.
Oh, and some tiny marigolds there, which hopefully will also bounce back. These ones are King of the North peppers. All right, and then there's more marigolds, and these peppers here are Corbachi peppers, the same ones my son had over there in his garden, and obviously a lot of grass on that side, which needs to be weeded, and I'm going to put something else low growing in its place so it doesn't shade out the peppers. And then I put some more cosmos over here. I can't remember which kind, so that'll be a fun surprise. It's either the double click or the seashell mix. I have both, and I was going to put some more throughout, so we'll see.
Oh, look, this one has a tiny bed.
That's very exciting. All right, do you want to show them the tomatoes?
Yay.
Okay. So we've got, I put nasturtium there. So yes, there's a lot of tomatoes right here. I think there's 24. I think there's 4 rows of 6 here that we did. And at each variety that's over here has 2. So these ones are all cherry or grape varieties. And I see some flowers on these ones. I will go through the varieties more when they're, actually fruiting. Let's see if I can get this one. This is Sunrise Bumblebee. We grew this one and loved it last year, so that's really exciting. They're good for fresh eating, she says. Yep.
Not for saving in a bowl. That's
Okay.
when they get too sour.
Okay. I'm just excited. They're looking really good right now. Some of them were looking a little sad in their cups, but they've bounced back after being planted. Behind them, yep, there's more tiny green tomatoes over there. I think those ones are the Betelux. On the other side, there's a little path there, and then we've got a big brassica bed, which is a mix of kales on the end, and then cabbages, cauliflower, and broccoli. Again, I'm seeing some broccoli in there. I haven't seen anything from the cauliflower yet, but I'm going to give it time. Yep, and there's tiny cabbage heads forming. Before moving on, I did want to show you the zinnias I put in here. And again, I don't remember what variety, but they're starting to blossom and they're really pretty. I think they will get taller. Yeah, mine did last year at least, so that's my thought. And on this side, I planted some snapdragons. This is a mix of rose and apple blossom over here. And then moving on from that, there's more tomatoes. So I put all my paste tomatoes over here. So I've got 2 varieties. There's Amish paste here. And I did try to plant some calendula like in between and in front of them, but I haven't seen any come up yet. So I'm keeping my eye out. I need to weed again and water, and I can always replant the calendula if necessary. In between some tomatoes, I've got some ceranth growing here. I don't know if that's how it's pronounced, but it's supposed to be a beautiful purple flower. I did start to weed and work on the other side of this. I don't really have much to show on that side yet, but I did leave this little patch of yarrow there purposely because I didn't end up planting any yarrow, and I do like to dry it and use it medicinally, so I wanted to save that little patch. And then I have Marzano Fire tomato. The weeds just get worse as we go on, and this, I think where I didn't pull the grass on that side, it's a lot worse, which is interesting. It's just an interesting thing to note. But yeah, both sides of this really need to be weeded, but there are tomatoes back in there. They're just getting shaded out a little bit, so I'm hoping if I can weed that soon, that'll be better. And I also planted, was it calendula? I'm pretty sure it's more calendula down in front of these ones. Oh, and after the Marzano Fire, we've got some Dr. Weich's, which is one of our favorites, and I had some extra, so I stuck it in here. And another Paul Robeson, which we hadn't tried last year, but it's supposed to be really, really good. So I put another one back here. And then, let's see. Oh no, that's not a Paul Robeson, that's a Purple Russian. That's another variety we really liked last year. I really need to take care of these flowers because they're shading stuff out, but I did plant some sunflower seeds in here, just in the corner, and I think there's a couple coming up. Yep, there's one. I planted a couple different varieties, so we'll see what happens. I obviously need to weed around them. Okay, just turning around for a minute here. I've got some pumpkins that are ready to go in the ground, just not quite in yet. We've got some Howden pumpkins, which are ones I grew last year in this spot that like get pretty big, and we use them for jack-o'-lanterns. And then I got Jarrahdale, which is the first time growing those, and they're like a greenish blue. And then there's spaghetti squash on the end. So hopefully those will all get in the next few days. We've got my very weedy asparagus patch here, but the asparagus seems to be doing okay. So, yeah, it's growing and ferning out, and hopefully it'll keep growing. All right, to the back here, I just planted some of these this morning. This is butternut squash. They were just ready to be in the ground, as most of my plants were. So I've got, I think, 4 butternut squash plants along the back here. I'm just gonna have to like kind of adjust the vines so they stay in the bed because it is a rather narrow bed. But I don't think they vine out as much as the pumpkins I did. They're smaller, so I'll just try to contain them. And then we've got more tomatoes. I had more left over, and so I gave some to my father, but I tried to sneak as many in as I could here. So we got another Brad's Atomic Grape. Let's see, Black Vernissage, a Cherokee Purple, and a Paul Robeson. So the Black Vernissage and Brad's Atomic Grape are 2 that we grew last year that we really liked. And then Cherokee Purple and Paul Robeson are new, but are supposed to be really good. And I really liked the dark, like purpley, smoky tomatoes. So I'm excited about those. Oh, I don't know if you can even tell, but I have some marshmallow plants back here. I planted them near the fence, and so that they can be supported if necessary, because they can get pretty tall. But those are some herbs that make beautiful flowers that I decided to put there. I might put some other herbs in front. We'll see how it goes. Coming at these ones from behind, but the one in front, it looks like it's all grass, but there's actually leeks growing in there. So I'm gonna have to go and kind of sort through the leeks versus the grass situation. My son was trying to help me, and he just started pulling leeks out. So yep, I'm gonna need to get to that. And there is some space on this side where there's no leeks, so I might put some more carrots or something in there. The bed in front has carrots and beets, and there's rutabagas on the left. The middle has some sage that overwintered. And so that purple flower is the sage flowering, which is gorgeous. And then the other flowers are actually from my radishes that I never picked. So these ones were just really woody for me. They didn't quite get big enough. I don't think I got them in early enough. And the flower is so pretty, so I'm kind of happy to just leave those. And then this is another kind that I didn't plant early enough, but I might try to save some of the seeds since I'm letting them flower. And the flowers are just, I mean, they're gorgeous. I kind of want to just grow them for their flowers too. Yeah, we got carrots on either side here and rutabaga on the end. And then of course more potatoes. So yeah, there's 4 different varieties. Each row here is a different variety. And I have straw on one and not on the other, so that's something on my to-do list. But since they've been growing pretty well, I'm just kind of letting them be for right now, as I've got other higher priorities. Before I move on to the herbs, I just wanted to pop over here and see these acorn squash that I also put in this morning. Just stuck them back here. So, and again, that's where we were earlier with the garlic and the elder tree. So this next section is my herb section of the garden, and then I'll end with the PTP over there. But I'm excited about this. I've gotten a lot of it planted. To be honest, this bed here isn't fully planted yet, and you see dead and dying plants stuck in their containers there. I apologize to all the plants, but I did get some stuff in, so that's good. So here we've got some anise hyssop that I got in, and there's some echinacea over on the other side that I think I showed you last time. My thyme and my pansies that I planted along the front of this one are not looking great. But again, I'm hoping maybe the pansies will come back next year. If not, I'll just try planting again. It's not the end of the world. I'm gonna move over here to this side. I did hyssop official. These are actually 2 different plants, the hyssop and the anise hyssop, that I planted on either side here. And the anise hyssop, I believe, is called agastache. I'm not saying that. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but I planted them opposite each other because I wanted to see the differences, and obviously labeled them so that I would know. And hopefully I might end up doing different labels for over the winter, because I'm not sure that these will stay well. Okay, so moving on over here. I think I have another spot over here to put something that I haven't put yet, but this bed is mostly planted. So I've got, I've got basils. And this goes to the next bed too, but there's 11 different varieties of basil that are labeled where those sticks are along the front here, so that I can try them all out. So I thought that would be fun because I love basil. I do intend to put another row of basil over between, like a really skinny row between the onions and the tomatoes. So hopefully those will be in before next time as well. Of course, my label's facing the other direction here, but I think in the middle there I put catnip. And then I did some seeds for some woolly lamb's ear over there. And I believe this is oregano. There's a couple of oregano plants there. And then I used these pots for these. These are, a lot of herbs that we use are Mediterranean herbs, so are not super suited to our climate here. A few of them I'm just, putting in the ground. They may or may not come back, and that's fine. But I got a bay leaf or a bay tree here that you can get bay leaves from. And then I also have rosemary and lavender in that pot that I would like to see if I can overwinter by, wrapping the pots and bringing them to a sheltered location or inside, so that I can just keep them going. So that's why these are in pots here, because they would not survive our winters if I put them in the ground. And I do have some lavender that I may put in the ground and just see what happens. It is, I want to say it's like Munstead or variety that is supposed to be a little bit better for colder climates. But I wanted to have some because I love lavender. So I thought I would try this as well. In this bed, there's like a long trench thing over there that I did some cumin seeds that haven't come up yet. And then, here, let me go around here. I've got sage that's looking beautiful. I transplanted, and thyme, that's German thyme. And both of those will likely come back next year as well. And then I'm trying to remember because my sticks are all facing the other way. But I think I have cilantro on the left side, some parsley that I seeded, and then marjoram over on the right. And they were in their containers way too long. I got them in much later than I should have. So I'm hoping they kind of perk up a bit, and then I'm seeing some more seeds come up. More water will help. This is the current status of my herb circle. Herbs are growing. This chamomile is going to flower soon, and I love chamomile. And we've got calendula and lemon balm. The lady's mantle is actually flowering. It looks so much better than when I put it in. I was afraid it was not going to survive when I put it in, but it looks beautiful now. I've got sage and thyme here as well. And then I put some seeds in for holy basil, tulsi here, and plantain. I don't think the holy basil is going to end up being perennial here because I think it gets too cold for it, but we'll see. I need to water all these and hope that the seeds come up. I'm hoping we'll get water early next week, so I might just come out and sow a bunch of seeds before it rains. We'll see how it goes. Okay, I'm going to end the tour with our PTP here. Please ignore all the random straw. I'm still working on it. So the peas are flowering, and this just makes me so happy. They are so beautiful. There's 2 different kinds of peas that we planted here. And oh, actually, you can see this one has a little pea growing. These are the King Tut Purple. And then I also have just a sugar snap pea in here. So the purple flowers are the King Tut, and then these white flowers are the sugar snap. So there you go. So that's great. Yesterday I went ahead and I planted just a few. I think I've ate around the whole thing. Runner beans. Please excuse, I do have a bag of compost there. And I had the best intentions of putting it around the quince tree and the elder. But I have not, and I'm kind of been using it. I've been rotating around inside the PTP to try to kill the grass. So that's what that's doing there right now, and I may use it eventually, so we'll see. Yes, but I'm very excited. The peas are growing and we're getting some peas, and got some, is it black runner beans, I think, that I just planted, and I'm hoping to plant another variety of bean as well, though it's older seeds, so we'll see what happens to climb up, because the peas, it's already getting a little hot for them, to be honest. So I think we'll grow and get a harvest from them, but they also don't get as tall as the beans. So once the beans start growing and really scramble up, then the peas might start dying back and we can cut them back. But yeah, it's just, it's so nice to see something you planted a while ago finally bearing fruit. It's the magic of the garden. So that's my potager tour for today. I do want to show you, I'm not going to give you a full orchard tour, but I do want to show you a couple things that are happening up over on the other side of the house just to close this off. So if you're not interested in that, you can just head out now, but otherwise stay tuned. I just want to show you a couple sweet things that are happening. Here we are in the orchard. Lots of birds around here as well, which I think is a good sign. And we added this mulched area between our pear tree here, and that's an apple there. And the intention is to have this mulch between each of the trees so that it's more of a path, and it's a purposely curved path, so it'll go curved that way. But we didn't have enough cardboard or paper to put down underneath it for right now, so we just did the one section. But I did plant some things in here, so I want to show you. Now, this lady's mantle is really not looking good, and I feel really bad that I didn't get it in sooner. But I'm gonna give it a little longer to come back. It hasn't been in for that long and it needs some water. And I also planted some gooseberry trees. I think they've been in maybe about a week now, almost a week. So they're looking much happier than when they were in their pots. I had some comfrey that I'd potted up that did not make it. I don't even know if I should try planting that at this point or just give up. But what I really wanted to show you is that some of my alliums are blooming. So I planted these allium bulb mixes last fall, and look at how pretty. So that's just making me happy right now. I do have a lot more work to do out here. I want to train the trees, clean off that basketball court. And I want to show you our berry garden that we put together, but I haven't gotten into a place where I feel like it's to a good place to show yet. So I think I'm going to have to give up on my ultimate having it all done before showing you. However, I do want to weed it before I show you. So I'm going to work on that. These are some more alliums here. And where is... Oh, I've got an echinacea hiding amongst the grass. This needs to be weeded. Yes. So... yeah, this is a peach tree, and we've been mowing this little patch over here, and the elders over here have been flowering as well. So lots of good things happening. I'm excited to see it moving along. Okay, so this is one thing I wanted to show you. I just kind of want to document my front porch area, and it does need to be weeded. I do keep weeding it, but it's all in bloom right now. We've got salvium and wild geraniums that were planted before we got here. So I just wanted to document that it's in bloom. I've got some flowers here that desperately need to get in the ground. I don't know if some of them are going to make it, but I keep them there and I keep watering them. And then I did these containers, and I don't think I've posted yet. I filmed a video of planting them, so I'll try to get that up. But so if it's not up before this one, look up for it soon. This is a very shady area. You can see it just gets a little bit of morning sun. So I've got some shade plants there, and I just love how it looks. It's just such a big difference from what this looked like last year. So I'm really excited about it. I'm letting those weeds flower because they're pretty, and then I will hopefully cut them down before they seed. And I've got some more. I put some pansies in random places. Oh, you can see a purple one down there. And I think I'm going to put some more flowers back in these areas. I just haven't gotten to it yet. So more to do. And I did put a wild bergamot over there as well. The last thing I wanted to show you today are these little planters in this little area here. I did a video making these trellises, and I can link to that here. And I planted in it with love in a puff and some different violets and pansies. There's only a very short window every day where both are in sun, and it looks like I just missed it. But you can still see how beautiful they are. And then we ended up getting a new hose and hose holder, because you might have seen in that video that we had a giant gray hose that just took up this area. So it looks so much nicer in this, and I'm so excited about my pretty flowers. Let me give you a closer look. So these are two different kinds of violets from Floret. There is the antique, I think it's nature antique, which is kind of the, well, more muted colors, I guess. And then the larger ones you can see with the purple there are a giant sherry mix. And I also planted some sweet alyssum in there. So I'm hoping, I think there's some different things that ended up weeds and stuff getting in, but I'm hoping some of those are sweet alyssum that will flower. You can also see, if you look carefully, that green puff there from the love in a puff. So that's where the seed will be found inside. I'm really excited about this. It's also been growing, so it's moving its way up. So that's what I wanted to show you today. I hope you enjoyed the tour. Make sure you subscribe if you want to see more of my videos, and click that thumbs up button if you liked this. Until next time, happy gardening. We are being serenaded or yelled at, I can't tell, by what I think is a mockingbird over there on the fence post.